this cycle of thirds, guys, it's going to show you not just which chords and how your chords all work, but it's also going to show you how you can extend those chords from triads into sevenths, into ninths, into 11ths, into 13ths. Hey guys, some of you have asked me what's going on with this cycle of thirds business, and a few people don't seem to understand that the cycle of thirds doesn't change. And I'm going to show you in this lesson how to work out your keys using this cycle of thirds. It's going to be really important because the cycle of thirds and modes directly affect each other. We're going to do C major. Now, the common mnemonic that I've used before has been every good band deserves fans and cash. Now, I'm really agnostic about that. That's just one that I use to teach this. It's completely up to you how you want to remember this. Now, the reason I do this is because the treble clef goes up E, G, B, D, F, A, C. We always seem to learn it as every good boy deserves football or favour. And then we miss out on extending it with these two notes here. Really, all that matters is this sequence. So if we go from here, we can go C. This grayed out note here, this is the root note or the tonic for our key. We can think of that as being the tonic. So this is C major. I should explain some things going on here. This sheet will be available for you to download and practice writing these out yourself. Do them in pencil first until you get confident, and then use a pen. This triangle here, it means major. I'm just using the delta to mean major and the minus symbol to mean minor. People will say that it denotes major 7, but we're using that just to say major. It's just a shorthand. So between the C and this next note is going to be a major thirds, but we're just going to go up in this order. Remember, C, E, G, B, D, F, A there. Eyup FretHeads, get this lesson as a mug. Sup your favourite Yorkshire tea and learn some music theory. Fill in the circles with a whiteboard marker, then scan the QR code for the full lesson masterclass and nail your music theory today. And you can see if I wanted to use that same mnemonic, I'd just have to start here. Every good band deserves fans and cash. It could be anything you want. Cows eat grass, but don't fart a lot. It doesn't really matter what the mnemonic is as long as you remember the sequence, how it goes round like this. These thirds are static. These are never going to change. Now, if you know anything about the C major scale or the key of C major, then the key signature for C major is that. No sharps, no flats. So what do you do when you encounter a key that has sharps or flats? Let's do this here in the key of G. And remember, we're just going to go on this sequence here. Good band deserves fans and cash every good. So I'm back to the beginning here. This is going to be G major. Notice I haven't had to alter any of this business here. These thirds are static, so we keep our chord tonalities exactly the same. Now, if you know anything about your key signatures, then you know that it only has one sharp. We take that one sharp, and because it's on this line here on the F, then that means that F has to be an F sharp. Because if you look at this, and if I want to go from this note here, this would be the starting note for my chord 1. So I go G, B, D, that's my chord 1. Well, what's the next letter up that I can go up here? And I'll go through the chords one at a time. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So this is going to be chord 2. Chord 2 that we know is minor, A, C, E. There you go. There's the root, third and fifth of chord 2 in the key of G major. A, next letter up is going to be B, which is going to be chord 3, which we know to be B minor. Let's take that up there. We've got B, D, F sharp. This is why it's important to put this sharp in here. If it wasn't sharped, then this would be a diminished chord. We'd have two minor thirds. Does that make sense? Because look, you can see there's a major third and there's a minor third there, guys. And if you haven't seen my video on understanding how these chords are formed, then you might want to watch this video up here. We've gone G, A, B. Let's go to the next letter up, which would be C, which is going to be chord 4, which we know to be major because, look there, there's the major third there, major third, minor third, C, E, G. That's how we spell that one out there, guys. Let's go to chord 5. Chord 5 is going to be the D. So we've gone G, A, B, C, D. This is going to be chord 5 here. Now this is where it gets important again that this sharp has been added. Look, D, F sharp, A. That's telling us the notes that we need to make a D major chord. Okay, so D, next note is going to be E. We've gone chord 5. This is going to be chord 6. We can see that chord 6 goes E, G, B. There's the root. There's the flat third, because look, we've gone up a minor third there. And let's go up a major third to get to the 5th there. So you can see root to the 5th. Okay, so we've figured out that chord 6. That means we've only got one chord left. The cool thing I like about sharp key signatures is that the last sharp is always the leading note. The last sharp here always goes up a half step to the tonic of the key. That's a G note there, which is the key. How cool is that? So this F sharp here is going to be 7. Now in the major key, we know that chord 7 is diminished. And this is going to be very, very visible here. You can see that we've got an F sharp diminished chord, and that has 2 minor thirds. Look, there's a minor third there, and there's a minor third there. So between F sharp and A, it's a minor third. Between A and C, it's a minor third. So that's how those all work up as triads, guys. But that is not the only thing that's cool about this. Let's look at this from the perspective of chord 1. If we go up G, B, D, we can see that that's the root, the 3rd and 5th, and it even spells it out with the chords there for us. But if we go up, we get the 7th. If that isn't cool enough as it is, if we jump over now, when we get to the end of the 7th, then we are going from the simple octave into the compound octave. And when we jump over from the simple octave to the compound octave, we get the 9th, we get the 11th, and we get the 13th. So we can see which kind of 13th and 11th and 9th we are going to get. We can name the notes and we can see how they're going to roll out in front of us. We can do that with any of the chords in this. Let's look at this one. This is an A. We can see that the A, the C, and the E give us our A minor triad. But if we want to know what note we need to add to get it into being a minor 7th, then we need to add this G. We want to make it into a 9th, we need to add a B. We need to take it into a minor 11th, we put that D in there. We want to take it up into a yucky minor 13, then we can even add that F sharp in there if we want to. This cycle of thirds, guys, it's going to show you not just which chords and how your chords all work, but it's also going to show you how you can extend those chords from triads into 7ths, into 9ths, into 11ths, into 13ths. Let's do it with another key. Let's do A flat major. A flat major is pretty obtuse. It's not one that people tend to play much unless it's classical or jazz. So let's put that in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my same sequence. Remember, it was just every good band deserves fans and cash. I'm going to edit this after. I'm going to just put the letters in and then apply the key signature to it. So for A flat major, we get battle, ends, and down. So we've got 4 flats in that key signature. The easiest way to find out what key you are with a flat key signature is your next to last flat is your key. That's an A flat, so that's the key. So that means that when I write these letters in here, I have to modify all these letters that are modified in the key signature. Let's take it up here. We're going to go A, because it's A flat, and cash. Every good band deserves fans and cash. So the whole thing's gone round again. Now, let's add our accidentals. If you don't add the accidentals, then you're going to get lost and you're going to think to yourself, well, this is useless, right? So remember, battle, ends, and down. Battle, B flat. Ends, E flat, and we've got that in there already, D flat. Now you can see that these are the alterations and we can do exactly the same thing. We want to know what the notes are that are in chord 1 in A flat. We've got an A flat, a C, and an E flat. There's the triad there. We want to extend it like I explained up here with 9ths, 11ths, and 13ths. We can do exactly the same thing there. This is gold, guys. If you just know how to work this stuff out, then you will be on a winner. So going through this again, just to find where chord 2 is going to be. And if we just jump down here, we can see that A flat, B flat. Chord 2 is going to be here. This is going to be B flat minor. The notes in B flat minor are going to be B flat, D flat, and an F there. It's going to help us to find this information out because we're tying in this understanding of our key signature with this. Let's go to chord 3. Chord 3 is over here, because it's the next jump over from the A flat to the C there. So we've got a C. So chord 3 is going to be a C minor. Wonderful. Look, there's the root, there's the 3rd, there's the 5th of that chord. If If we want to extend it, that's what note is the flat 7. That is going to be the 9th, which happens to be a flat 9 in this instance. And then this note is going to be our 11th. Right, let's move on to chord 4. We go A, B, C, D flat. There's chord 4. Notice how this just plots out the same, guys. I could have put that in there, but you know, I want to show you how this all works out. It's always going to go in the same motion. So we've got chord 4, then we jump over here to chord 5, we jump over here to chord 6, and then you can see we jump back over here to chord 7. There is the key of A flat major. Like I say, we can take that, we can extend all our triads into the compound intervals. We are going to do this with one more, just so that you can flex this muscle and you can see exactly how it works and why it is useful to understand this cycle of thirds. This is just another application of it. This is a theoretical thing, but you need to know this for forming your chords. This is all about chords, guys, and all about the chords within your key. Let's do the key of E major. Father Charles goes down. D sharp, take that one there, take it for a half step. That gives me my root note for my key, my tonic there. Because it's starting in E, I'm going to write an E there because that's going to be chord 1. Every good band deserves fans and cash. We need to add these sharps now from the key signature. Father Charles goes down. And remember, the way that the flats and the sharps work, we get this sequence here, guys. If we want to think about flats, battle ends and down goes Charles's father. Flats go that way. That's the order of the flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, F flat, yes, C flat, which is a B, enharmonic, F flat, which is an E, which is disgusting, but it does come up. Now going backwards, however, we get sharps. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Say the same saying backwards, battle ends and down goes Charles's father. So we get sharps going this way, flats going this way. This is the way that you memorize your sharps and your flats. So Father Charles goes down. Father Charles goes down. So I'm going to add these now. Father Charles goes down. Wonderful. So you can see that here for chord 1, I have E major. I'll just show you, write the names of the chords out as well. Next, we're going to get an F sharp. And because we know this is chord 2 and we know that it's minor, that's going to be F sharp minor. Chord 3, we skedaddle over that way. That's chord 3. We know that's going to be G sharp minor. Let's move over here from the G sharp. It goes to the A. We're going to have an A major. Let's go from the A. We scoodle daddle over there. And then that's a B. So then we jump over here, we can see we get a C sharp, and that's going to be chord 4, chord 5, and then we jump over here, we get chord 6, which is going to be C sharp minor. Then we jump over here and we get D sharp diminished. That's chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6, and chord 7. So we can work out all these chords by using this cycle of thirds. Don't overlook this, guys. People have poo-pooed it, but they don't see the power in it, and there are at least another 4 or 5 applications that I want to show you. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you have, make sure you hit that subscribe and watch my other content all about this music theory stuff, because it's what unlocks the instrument.